I want you to look at this number, $5,700 a month. Now here's the crazy part. I didn't build an app. I didn't hire a team. I didn't spend months learning how to code. And I didn't create some complicated AI software company. I built a simple service business around ChatGPT, and the entire thing was put together in roughly 30 days. But here's where this gets interesting. The money wasn't actually in ChatGPT. ChatGPT was just the tool. The real opportunity was figuring out what businesses would pay. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what I sold, how I got the customers, what I charged, and the numbers behind the $5,700. Because there's one part of this business model that I completely underestimated, and if I had missed it, this entire experiment probably wouldn't have worked. The first mistake would be thinking the business was selling ChatGPT. Nobody wakes up and says, "I'd like to give you $1,000 because you know how to use ChatGPT." Businesses pay for outcomes. More leads, more appointments, more sales, less administrative work, faster content, better customer follow-up, solved one very specific business problem. So instead of selling AI, I packaged ChatGPT into a service that solved one very specific business problem. That distinction changed everything. The customer didn't need to understand the technology. They just needed to understand, this saves me time, or this helps me make money. And that became the foundation of the offer. Don't sell the outcome. So what did I actually sell? A simple AI-powered business service. The implementation can vary, but the system looked like this. ChatGPT handled the intelligence layer, automation handled the repetitive work, and the client paid me for the finished system. That meant I wasn't charging for prompts. I wasn't charging for hours. I was charging for a business process that otherwise required someone to handle. And this is where the economics started getting interesting. But having a great offer doesn't mean anyone is going to buy it. This was probably the most important lesson of the entire experiment. I initially thought the hard part would be building the AI system. It wasn't. The hard part was getting someone to care. So instead of making systems, I focused on finding businesses that already had the problem. Businesses where leads were being missed, or follow-ups were inconsistent, or staff were spending hours doing repetitive work. And that changed the conversation. From, "Do you want AI?" to, "How much is this problem costing you?" Now let's talk about the part everybody wants to know. How did I actually get customers? I didn't rely on magic. I went directly after businesses that had the problem. I built a simple prospect list, identified businesses with obvious opportunities, and reached out with a very specific message. Not, "Hi, I'm a consultant." Instead, I noticed you're getting customer inquiries, but there appears a gap. I built a system that can automate that. Want to see it? That tiny change matters because you're no longer asking them to buy AI. You're asking them to look at a solution to their problem. Once somebody agreed to talk, I didn't spend 30 minutes giving lectures. I asked questions because those answers let you calculate the opportunity. Let's say a business receives 100 inquiries, even a small percentage of additional conversions can be worth thousands of dollars depending on the business. Suddenly, a $1,000 monthly service isn't being compared with ChatGPT. It's being compared with the value of the problem. And that is the exact sales conversation I wanted. Now let's get to the number, $5,700 per month. This wasn't one giant client. It came from stacking recurring offers. Client 1, $1,500. Client 2, $1,200. Client 3, 4, and 5, $1,000 each. Total, $5,700 per month. You need a small number of businesses paying you recurring revenue for something that creates measurable value. But there was still a major problem, because if every client requires you to manually do everything yourself, you've just bought yourself a job. How do I deliver this without creating another full-time job? This is where I started turning the service into a repeatable system. We built automated workflows, standard onboarding, and reporting. The customer didn't need to understand the technology. They just needed to understand. The goal wasn't to make the AI smarter. The goal was repeatability. If I had to start over tomorrow, I would make this much simpler. One niche, one painful problem, one offer, one repeatable system, and build the smallest possible solution around it. I would not start by building 20 AI agents. I wouldn't spend weeks designing a beautiful website, and I definitely wouldn't try to sell to everybody. I'd find a problem that already costs businesses money. So don't build your business around one AI tool. So that's how the $5,700 happened. Not because of magic. The opportunity was simpler. Find an expensive problem, sell the outcome, and make the delivery repeatable. The technology will keep changing, but businesses will still have problems. They need more customers. Watch the next video. Let's take this from theory to business.